Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, I have to tell you, this offseason has been anything but boring for the 49ers. As we all know, San Francisco has been one of the most dominant teams in recent years, thanks to their incredible coaching staff led by Kyle Shanahan, their strategic approach to building a versatile roster, and of course, their star players. But this offseason, there are whispers, rumors, and potential trades that could shake up their current roster and influence their Super Bowl ambitions. And one of the most intriguing pieces of this puzzle involves a possible trade with the Las Vegas Raiders, centered around a young wide receiver named Tree Tucker. So, what's the deal? Well, according to Bleacher Report and some sources close to NFL circles, the Raiders and 49ers are in talks about a trade that could send Tree Tucker to San Francisco. Now, Tucker, a third-round pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, hails from Cincinnati and has shown flashes of potential, but he's yet to truly break out or cement himself as a key piece in the Raiders' offensive plans. The proposed trade would see the Raiders receiving Jennings, a player with some history with the 49ers, while the Niners would send Tucker along with a fourth-round pick in the 2026 draft. At first glance, it might seem like a typical trade, young player for a draft pick, maybe a depth move, but there's more to unpack here, especially considering the specific needs of both teams. The Raiders, as we know, are looking to bolster their aerial attack this season. With the recent signing of quarterback Geno Smith, who has been impressive in recent games, and the draft pick of talented running back Ashton Jeanty, they're aiming to maximize their offensive weapons. But they also need reliable targets, and while Tucker hasn't yet become a star, he's a player with untapped potential, someone who could develop into a valuable asset for a team that's preparing for a playoff push. The Raiders, in their current rebuild phase, are looking to add some youthful energy and speed to their receiving core, and Tucker fits that mold. On the other side, the 49ers are in a slightly different position. Jennings, who's been a consistent contributor and a favorite in San Francisco's locker room, has recently been nursing an injury. This is critical because Jennings had requested a trade earlier in the offseason, seeking more opportunities or perhaps a different environment. The 49ers, meanwhile, are caught in a contract stalemate with Jennings, which complicates their plans. But if he's unavailable or if his injury lingers, the team needs an alternative, and that's where Tucker comes into play. Tucker, despite being a rookie, has shown some promise. In his first season, he managed to rack up 331 receiving yards and scored 2 touchdowns over 16 games with 1 start. It's not a jaw-dropping stat line, but for a third-round pick, it's enough to suggest he has some upside. And given that Shanahan's offense is all about scheming misdirection, speed, and versatility, it's plausible that Tucker could find a more prominent role with the Niners, especially if Jennings' situation remains uncertain. But let's not forget the broader context here. The NFC West is fiercely competitive. The 49ers, coming off back-to-back deep playoff runs and a Super Bowl appearance in recent years, are always in the championship conversation. Yet they face stiff competition from teams like the Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals, all eager to take a step forward and challenge San Francisco's dominance. So any move that can bolster their roster, even if it's a young, unproven receiver like Tucker, could be a strategic step toward maintaining that edge. And of course, we have to consider the division rivals. The Seahawks, with their own ambitions and the signing of quarterback Geno Smith, are not going to sit still. The Rams, rebuilding yet again, and the Cardinals, trying to find their footing after some tough seasons, are all looking for ways to improve and disrupt the 49ers' plans. The NFC West is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions this season, and every move, every trade, could make all the difference in who makes it to the playoffs and who falls short. Now, touching on the potential implications for the 49ers' current roster, It's worth noting that Shanahan's offense relies heavily on a mix of veteran leadership and young, explosive talent. Players like Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel are critical, but they also need reliable secondary options to keep defenses honest. A young player like Tucker, with his speed and agility, could be a perfect complementary piece, especially in jet sweeps, deep routes, or as a gadget player. It's a move that could add some unpredictability to the 49ers' attack, something they excel at when they have multiple threats on the field. Additionally, this trade makes sense from a strategic standpoint because the 49ers have shown a willingness to develop young talent and to make smart, cost-effective moves. With the NFL's salary cap and roster management being such crucial factors, acquiring a player like Tucker at a relatively low cost, along with a future draft pick, aligns with Shanahan's approach of building a versatile, flexible team that can adapt to different game situations. Of course, there's also the question of Jennings' situation. As I mentioned earlier, he's nursing an injury and has requested a trade. The 49ers find themselves at a crossroads. Do they wait until Jennings is healthy and see if he's willing to stay, or do they move forward with Tucker, who may need some time to develop but could be a long-term asset? The decision hinges on Jennings' recovery and his willingness to stay with the team, but the trade scenario with Tucker is a clear indication that San Francisco is exploring all options to keep their offense dynamic and unpredictable. Now, looking at Tucker's potential, it's worth noting that he's still very much an unrefined talent. His rookie season showed flashes, but he's far from a finished product. The key for him now is development, and being in Shanahan's system, with his focus on precision route running, scheme versatility, and creative play calling, could be exactly what he needs to elevate his game. If he can grow into a reliable target, he might become a deep threat or a key contributor in some of the more gadget-oriented plays. The 49ers have a history of developing young receivers, and Tucker could be the next in line if given the right opportunities. For the Raiders, acquiring Jennings would be a boost to their locker room and their on-field options. Jennings has experience, knows Shanahan's system from his time with the 49ers, and could bring some veteran savvy to Las Vegas. Plus, with the injury concerns surrounding Jennings, the Raiders are taking a calculated risk, hoping that he recovers fully and becomes a part of their plans. They're also in a position where they need to make bold moves if they want to contend in the AFC, which is increasingly stacked with talented teams vying for playoff spots. And let's not forget the bigger picture. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and trades like this, involving young players and draft picks, are part of the ongoing chess game that teams are playing to maximize their Super Bowl chances. The 49ers, with their championship aspirations, are always looking to upgrade, and if this trade materializes, it could be a strategic move to keep their offense fresh and unpredictable, especially considering the potential for Jennings to be unavailable for a while. Now, for the fans of the 49ers, this kind of news is exciting but also a little nerve-wracking. We've seen how Shanahan's system can elevate young players, and Tucker could be the next hidden gem in a long line of offensive weapons. But it's also a reminder that the NFL is a business, and roster moves are driven not just by talent, but by strategy, cap management, and team chemistry. The team's front office and coaching staff always have a plan, and this trade scenario is just one piece of a larger puzzle, aimed at making San Francisco even more formidable in 2024. As we watch this story unfold, it's clear that the 49ers are not resting on their laurels. They're actively seeking ways to improve, to adapt, and to stay ahead of the competition. Whether it's developing their current roster or making bold moves like acquiring Tucker, they're showing that they're committed to maintaining their status as a powerhouse in the NFL. And for us fans, that's just more reason to stay tuned, to keep supporting, and to get excited for what's to come this season. The NFC West is shaping up to be one of the most thrilling divisions in recent memory, and the 49ers are right at the center of it all. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So as we look ahead, it's fascinating to think about how this potential trade could reshape not only the 49ers offense but also the division dynamics. Will Tucker step up and become a key contributor for Shanahan? Can Jennings recover fully and stay with the team? And what does this mean for the 49ers' overall Super Bowl chances? These questions are what make NFL offseason so exciting. We're all eager to see how it unfolds, and I'll be right here, bringing you all the latest updates, deep dives, and analysis. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news.